Part 1. The Invitation. The email arrived in Sarah's inbox like a whisper from the past, a message that seemed to beckon her to a place she had long forgotten. The subject line read, "Invitation to the Forgotten Manor," and the sender was listed as unknown. Intrigued and a little uneasy, she opened the message to find a single line: "Visit the haunted mansion and uncover the truth." Despite the ominous nature of the message, or perhaps because of it, Sarah couldn't resist the pull of curiosity. The haunted mansion was a tale whispered about in hushed tones among the locals, a place said to be cursed by the spirits of the past. Legends spoke of unexplained noises, flickering lights and shadowy figures that danced along the corridors. Some claimed to have seen faces in the windows, their eyes reflecting an otherworldly glow. As a journalist specializing in the supernatural, Sarah saw an opportunity to investigate a story that could captivate her audience. She packed her bags, grabbed her camera, and set out for the Forgotten Manor. Part 2. The Arrival. The journey to the mansion was as eerie as the stories that surrounded it. The road leading to the estate was overgrown with gnarled branches, creating a tunnel of darkness that seemed to stretch on forever. As Sarah approached the looming structure, she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The gates creaked open as if welcoming her, and the mansion's facade loomed in the moonlight. Broken windows gazed out like empty eye sockets, and the front door stood ajar, inviting her to step into the abyss. Sarah hesitated for a moment, her heart pounding, but the allure of the unknown propelled her forward. Once inside, the air was thick with the scent of decay. Dust particles danced in the moonbeams that filtered through the tattered curtains. Sarah's footsteps echoed through the empty halls as she explored room after room, each one seemingly frozen in time. Part 3. The Unseen Presence. As Sarah delved deeper into the mansion, strange occurrences began to unfold. Faint whispers echoed through the hallways, indistinguishable voices murmuring words that sent shivers down her spine. The temperature fluctuated wildly, plunging from bone-chilling cold to an unnatural warmth. In one room, Sarah discovered an old photograph of a family who had once called the mansion home. Their eyes seemed to follow her every move, and she could almost hear the distant laughter of children playing in the echoing chambers. Yet the mansion stood empty, devoid of life. Night after night, Sarah set up her camera, hoping to capture evidence of the supernatural. The recordings revealed mysterious orbs of light, shadowy figures that flitted across the frame, and disembodied whispers that spoke of forgotten tragedies. Sleep became elusive as the boundary between the living and the dead blurred within the haunted walls. Part 4. The Unraveling. The mansion seemed to hold its secrets close, revealing glimpses of the past in cryptic fragments. Sarah's investigations led her to a hidden room in the depths of the mansion, a room untouched by time. The walls were adorned with symbols and drawings that seemed to tell a tale of forbidden rituals and an ancient pact. As she delved deeper into the history of the mansion, Sarah discovered a tragic tale of a family torn apart by greed and betrayal. The patriarch, driven by a desire for wealth and power, had made a pact with dark forces that promised prosperity in exchange for the souls of his loved ones. The family's once grand estate became a twisted battleground for supernatural forces, a place where the living and the dead coexisted in a fragile balance. The spirits of the betrayed family sought revenge, their anguished wails echoing through the corridors as they yearned for release. Part 5. The Confrontation. In her pursuit of the truth, Sarah unwittingly awakened the dormant spirits that slumbered within the mansion. Shadows materialized into ethereal forms and ghostly figures emerged from the darkness, their eyes filled with a sorrow that transcended the boundaries of the afterlife. As the supernatural activity intensified, Sarah found herself at the center of a spectral maelstrom. The air crackled with energy and the mansion seemed to come alive with a malevolent force. Desperate to understand the mysteries that bound the spirits to the earthly realm, Sarah delved into the forbidden rituals hinted at in the hidden room. Her investigations unveiled a ritual that could sever the ties between the living and the dead, a ritual that required a sacrifice to break the curse that bound the spirits to the mansion. The weight of responsibility pressed upon Sarah's shoulders as she grappled with the moral dilemma of choosing between her own safety and the salvation of the tormented souls. Part 6. The Ritual. As the moon hung heavy in the night sky, Sarah stood in the heart of the mansion, surrounded by the spectral presence of the betrayed family. Candles flickered, casting dancing shadows on the walls, as she prepared to perform the ritual that could release the spirits from their eternal torment. The air grew still as Sarah recited the incantations, her voice trembling with a mixture of fear and determination. The spirits watched with a silent intensity, their eyes reflecting a glimmer of hope that had long been extinguished. With each word uttered, the mansion vibrated with an otherworldly energy. The very fabric of reality seemed to waver as the boundary between the living and the dead blurred. In that surreal moment, Sarah felt a connection to the spirits, an understanding that transcended the boundaries of mortal comprehension. Part 7. The Aftermath. As the ritual reached its climax, the mansion convulsed with a final surge of energy. The air crackled with a blinding light, and for a moment, time itself seemed to stand still. When the brilliance subsided, Sarah found herself standing alone in the silent halls of the mansion. The oppressive atmosphere that had clung to the estate like a shroud had dissipated. The air felt lighter, and the moon cast a gentle glow that bathed the mansion in an ethereal radiance. Sarah could sense a profound stillness, a peace that had long eluded the tormented spirits. The once forgotten manor stood silent, its secrets laid bare to the moonlit night. Sarah, now an unwitting savior of lost souls, exited the mansion with a mix of relief and melancholy. The haunted house had been her refuge and her prison, a place where the line between reality and the supernatural had blurred. As she walked away from the mansion, Sarah couldn't help but glance back one last time. The broken windows glistened in the moonlight, and the gates stood open as if bidding her farewell. The forgotten manor had surrendered its ghosts to the past, but the echoes of its haunted history lingered in the whispers of the wind.